Where do I even begin with this latest episode of Mandalorian, ladies and gentlemen? Where do I even begin? Mandalorian, Jon Favreau, you were our last hope. Lots of people over the last decade have lost all confidence in Star Wars as a franchise, especially since the sequel trilogy, especially since Disney's continued to just run amok and bastardize everything that we grew up with. And I know there's going to be people in the comments, oh, a fat neckbeard is over here crying about Star Wars because it's this and that and it's diverse now. This is how all the wokies in my comment section look. Why you trigger? Guys, I don't care about anything that you guys have to say because, for one, there's absolutely no way that you could deny that this latest episode of Mandalorian was not garbage. All right? It's plain and simple. I about lost it. I was like, wow, this is probably the most popular Disney Plus series of all time. It's the third season. It has a huge following. And there was a point where I was always anticipating each episode. But now I'm like, why even bother? Because we're at episode 6 out of 8. The season is over in 2 more episodes, and it feels like there's been absolutely no reason, no point, nothing for this season. There's been 2-3 filler episodes that just kind of make it feel like the wheels are spinning for no reason at all. And in this latest episode, we have cameos from Jack Black. As much as I'm a fan of Jack Black, I fucking love Jack Black. Think he crushed it as Bowser in the Mario movie. And Lizzo. And I love Lizzo too. Don't get me wrong. Big, beautiful black woman that I would fucking bend over and show her the business. Give her all 8 inches of Eric. But these cameos just fucking felt like they jumped the absolute shark when it comes to Star Wars now. And I don't even know where to process my train of thought because this episode has had absolutely atrocious writing. I was like, what is even going on? I'm watching it and I'm like, what is even going on? We have a big dinner table. Grogu is getting fed by Lizzo. Jack Black's acting like Jack Black. And where are we going with this? Right? The storyline is absolutely lackluster this season for reasons I'll get into right here. But this ain't even the start of it, all right? I know this episode's been met with some harsh criticism. This ain't even the only episode that's being met with criticism, though, by fans overall. They feel that the decline in the show is definitely showing with this season, and I agree. I absolutely agree. The writing was fucking amazing in the first season, and you know what? I'll even give season 2 some props with that. And Book of Boba Fett was okay, even though it had absolutely nothing to do with Boba Fett. But it's just horrendous. And I know there's going to be people in their comments that are like, oh, Eric, you're just mad about diversity and Disney inclusion and blah, blah, blah. This is how all the wokies in my comments look when, oh, you're just a triggered neckbeard that's crying. No, all right? Absolutely not. This show is starting to get into this dangerous territory where it's relying on fan service and cameos rather than strong storytelling. Okay, it's like they're going to rush these next 2 episodes for some kind of cliffhanger ending. The reviews are bad for the series so far. The ratings are tanking, guys. Something needs to be changed. It's a little too late because everything's already edited in the can, but I can't believe how this is dropping off. It even seems like the production values of the show is going down a little bit as well. When you look at Navarro and that town and stuff, it's like there's literally only 20 people that live in the town. The drop in quality is just causing people to not be engaged, including myself. Now, there are some fans that continue to defend the show, and that's fine. You're probably going to pop in here and try to insult because people have to throw insults when they're defending stuff instead of actually having a legit argument. You got to be sassy. You got to tell people, do your research and all this crap. But I thought this show was really going to save Star Wars and keep it going, and there was moments like at the end of season 1 and season 2 where I was like, wow, I absolutely fucking love Star Wars. I love Mandalorian. I love this. This is saving all the damage done from the sequel trilogy. But now I feel the show is just going too far gone. One of the main criticisms that I have at this point with season 3 is that this is now becoming the Bo-Katan show. And I don't like that. I don't like when, I'm all for a strong, independent woman that is a fierce warrior. Doesn't need to be a damsel in distress, but when you are clearly making a woman the priority in the show over the main characters that people fell in love with, like Mondo and Grogu, that's a fucking problem. Is it leading to somewhere? Sure, it's obviously probably leading to a spin-off or to something with Bo-Katan. But even then, there's no excuse for the bad writing that is going on in this show. That literally, it's like, what's the fucking point going on here? She was a popular character from Clone Wars, so I'll give that. They have a following. It was pretty cool that they were live action, finally, for once. But the storyline has basically been giving more of a focus than Din Djarin's main development. The main fucking character. The name of the show, The Mandalorian. So while Bo-Katan is interesting to an extent, I feel that the over-reliance on the storyline for this season is slowing it down a bit. It feels like they're trying to force her into the role of the main character, which is not what we signed up for, guys. Not at all. Now, the other thing is Grogu, who is probably the moneymaker of this show. Like, the merch seller, the moneymaker, the breakout star of the first season. And everybody fell in love with this adorable little green guy. It feels like they don't know what to do with him. It feels like there was an overarching, plot that's going to involve him and make him a big situation in the future of the series and other spin-offs and stuff. But now it's like he's an afterthought. If anything, he's barely in season 3. Yeah, and he's become a plot device instead of an actual character. I feel that anytime he does something, it's forced or unnecessary as opposed to actually developing him, making Grogu an actual character, making him, have some development. Like we had the whole Luke Skywalker training bit with him. That was fucking awesome. Now he's regulated to just being somebody that's in Lizzo's lap eating. Come on. I feel that this latest episode with Lizzo and Jack Black was a perfect example of the show's decline. The cameos were pointless. Christopher Lloyd was in there. I did like that, but still, it just felt like nothing was really adding value to the story. The writing was weak. This was definitely a filler episode. I was dozing the fuck off watching it. And this is the lowest rated episode in the show's history. Think about it. This should be a red flag to Disney. And I feel that the fans, the critics, everybody's really disappointed about it because the show's just not having that spark anymore. And it's only been 3 seasons. It's only been 3 seasons. And it's difficult to pinpoint where this show went wrong. I know there was interference by Kathleen Kennedy. Let's blame everything on Kathleen. Anything that goes wrong with Star Wars is her. I feel her and John were button heads. He went to go work on Ahsoka, and I guess she's a little bit more hands-on. She's changed some things, some of the plot elements and stuff like that. She's gotten involved a little bit too much. Let's be honest. That's probably what happened. John went and focused on other shows, other projects. I think the departure of Gina Carano definitely added a huge amount of people leaving in droves to watch other things besides Mandalorian because she has a huge fan base. Cara Dune was a huge fucking fan favorite, and we all know she was fired because of social media, and I think it's had a negative impact on the show because of that firing. So the bottom line is Mandalorian is not the show that it once was. It's lost its luster, its magic. I feel that it's becoming frustrating to watch where it's not going. It's going somewhere, but who knows? Because it's just moving so fucking slowly. I just think that they got to do something here very, very, very soon. I don't want to see the show get canceled before it actually leads to something happening. But my God, what were they thinking with season 3 so far?